Let me ask you a question that might sting a little, but it could change your life. Are you thinking rich, or are you just hoping you'll get lucky someday? Because the truth is, poor thinking is a silent trap, and most people don't even know they're caught in it. You could be working hard, grinding every day, but if your mindset is still operating like a broke person, then all that work is just survival, not strategy. See, the rich aren't just doing things differently, they're thinking differently. And if you're not where you want to be financially, then the first thing you need to check isn't your bank account, it's your beliefs. This isn't about judging anyone. This is about breaking out of a mental prison that convinces you you're doing your best, when in reality, you're just repeating broke habits in new disguises. Poor thinkers trade time for money. That's their default operating system, and it's killing their potential. They're taught to think in terms of hours, not value. They ask, what's the hourly rate? Or how many hours do I need to work this week to make ends meet? And while there's nothing wrong with working hard, the problem is that this mindset has a hard cap. It traps you in a system where you can never get ahead. There are only 24 hours in a day. You sleep for 8, maybe commute for 2, and whatever's left is barely enough to grind, rest, and repeat. This cycle is exactly what keeps people poor, not because they're not working, but because they're stuck in a model that doesn't scale. Rich thinkers, on the other hand, operate on a different level. They think in terms of value and leverage. They know time is limited, so they stop trading it. Instead, they focus on how to create something once that continues to produce results indefinitely. Whether it's building a business, automating a system, writing a book, or owning a product, they're thinking long-term. They're planting value in places that continue to grow even when they sleep. That's the kind of leverage that poor thinkers never develop because they're too busy clocking in and out. Here's what rich thinkers understand. The market doesn't pay you for your time. It pays you for the value you bring in that time. Two people can work 10 hours a day. One makes minimum wage. The other makes $10,000, 0 cents. What's the difference? It's not the hours, it's the outcome. Rich thinkers constantly ask themselves, how can I create something that works without me? That could be hiring others, building digital assets, or setting up passive income streams. It's not about being lazy, it's about being strategic. People stuck in poor thinking often feel they can't escape their current job or situation, but the truth is, the first shift has to happen in their mind. Until you believe your time is too valuable to trade for pennies, you'll keep doing it. The moment you start focusing on building systems and providing high-level value, you stop being paid by the hour and start getting paid by the impact. That's when real wealth starts to show up, not just in your wallet, but in your freedom. Poor thinkers live in a cycle of spending first. As soon as money hits their account, it's already gone, used to buy things that offer instant gratification, but no long-term return. They see money as something to enjoy now, not something to multiply. The pattern is familiar. New clothes, upgraded phones, weekend outings, or the latest gadget, all designed to signal success, but doing nothing to actually build it. It's emotional spending disguised as reward. And while it feels good in the moment, it's silently sabotaging the future. This habit creates a dangerous cycle. Work, earn, spend, repeat. There's no room left to grow wealth because the seed money is always being burned before it can be planted. Rich thinkers operate from a completely different framework. For them, the first question isn't what can I buy, it's what can I build. They prioritize investing over spending. Whether it's putting money into a business, developing new skills, buying assets, or saving for leverage, they treat every dollar like a soldier. It has a job to do. It's not there to sit idle or be wasted. It's there to bring more dollars back. They understand that money is a resource, and if managed with discipline, it can be a tool to buy freedom, not just possessions. They know that true wealth isn't shown in flashy purchases, it's built in silence, with long-term moves that compound over time. Poor thinkers avoid investing because it doesn't provide immediate payoff, the results aren't instant, and the benefits are delayed, which makes it uncomfortable, so they default to spending. Because it feels like progress, but in reality, they're consuming their opportunity. Rich thinkers embrace the discomfort of delayed gratification. They're okay missing out today because they're building for tomorrow. They don't need to show off wealth. They're too busy creating it. And this isn't about how much money you have. It's about how you treat the money you do have. Even with small amounts, poor thinkers spend it emotionally. Rich thinkers use it intentionally. They study returns. They ask what skill will make them more valuable. They look for ways to put money to work so it comes back with friends. That single shift, spend later, invest invest now is what builds real wealth over time. It's not about deprivation, it's about discipline. And that's the line between staying stuck and building a future of abundance. Poor thinkers are obsessed with staying comfortable. They make choices based on ease, not impact. They avoid risk, confrontation, or anything that challenges them emotionally, mentally, or financially. Their goal is to survive each day without discomfort, without failure, without criticism, without uncertainty. But that same comfort zone becomes a cage. It's why so many stay stuck in jobs they hate, relationships that don't grow, or routines that produce nothing new. Because the moment something feels hard or unfamiliar, they pull back. They see discomfort as a signal to stop, not a signal to evolve. And by doing that, they block the very thing that could push them into a better life. Rich thinkers, on the other hand, seek discomfort on purpose. They understand that everything they want, wealth, growth, influence, lives, just outside of their current comfort zone, so they chase the things that scare them. They speak up even when their voice shakes. They try things they might fail at. They take on challenges that stretch them because they know pressure creates power. They're not trying to stay safe, they're trying to get stronger. While poor thinkers avoid pain, rich thinkers see it as a passport to the next level. You can't grow without friction, and the irony is that the very things poor thinkers try to escape, stress, pressure, setbacks, are exactly what build resilience, creativity, and opportunity. Rich thinkers have trained themselves to interpret discomfort differently. To them, it's not a red flag, it's a green light. It means you're about to learn something. It means you're expanding. They've learned to sit in discomfort long enough to let it work for them. What they've learned to say is, if you want more, you must be better at something. They've learned to say is, you have to get better because you can't sit still, are exactly the things we value most in our business and life, and ultimately, rich thinkers. And they also learn to sit in discomfort long enough to let it work for them. Poor thinkers often label discomfort as failure. If something doesn't work immediately, they quit. If the road gets hard, they retreat. But rich thinkers know that failure isn't fatal, it's feedback. It's data. It teaches you faster than comfort ever could. The people who grow rich don't have easier paths. They just handle the tension better. They've conditioned themselves to operate under pressure, take calculated risks, and use discomfort as a training ground for dominance. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. In this process, they've uncovered and produced their capacity. So if everything in your life feels comfortable right now, you should be worried. Growth doesn't live there, wealth doesn't live there. The life you want is hiding behind a wall of discomfort, and it's waiting for you to break through. Poor thinkers are addicted to shortcuts. They want results without the process, success without the sacrifice, and rewards without the discipline. Their mindset constantly seeks the next big thing, the fastest way to get rich, or a viral moment that changes everything overnight. They jump from idea to idea, hoping one of them sticks without putting in the time to master any. They confuse movement with progress. In their world, consistency is boring, and building something slowly feels like failure. So they chase hacks, copy trends, and rely on motivation instead of systems. But shortcuts don't create stability. They create a loop of starting over again and again. Rich thinkers don't play that game. They know real success isn't sexy, it's systematic. They focus on building processes that work over time. While everyone else is looking for a quick fix, they're creating something that doesn't need to be rebuilt every month. They understand that systems scale, habits protect, and structure wins. That's why they invest time up front into frameworks, automation, team building, and routines. Because once a strong system is in place, it produces consistent results with less emotional chaos. It frees them from decision fatigue and emotional reactivity, The poor mindset is obsessed with hustle, grind, and nonstop effort. The rich mindset is obsessed with efficiency, delegation, and leverage. Rich thinkers don't try to do everything themselves. They hire, automate, delegate, and design their work so that it can run without their constant presence. They want a business, not just a job they own. They focus on creating machines of value, products, services, operations, or content that continue to work while they focus on the next big step. It's not that they're smarter, it's that they think long term. What poor thinkers don't realize is that every shortcut they take today becomes a cost tomorrow. A rushed decision, a lack of planning, a skipped foundational step, it all catches up. Rich thinkers would rather be patient with structure than reckless with speed. They understand that momentum without direction leads to burnout, not breakthrough. That's why you'll often find wealthy people repeating the same habits, routines, and systems day after day, because they've built a machine that prints value. And once the machine is running, they don't have to hustle forever. They get to choose how they live. That's the power of building systems instead of chasing shortcuts. Poor thinkers constantly trade their time for money, and they believe it's the only way to survive. Their entire financial framework is built on the idea that if you want more money, you must work more hours. That's the default belief passed down by generations. Work harder, longer, and you'll eventually get ahead. But here's the brutal truth. This model is broken. It puts a hard cap on your income and your life. No matter how hard you work, there are only so many hours in a day. And once you hit that limit, your income stops growing. This mindset locks people into jobs they hate, schedules they can't control, and a future they can't scale. Even when they try to earn more, taking on overtime, extra shifts, or side gigs, it still ties their money directly to their time. And that's the trap. Rich thinkers see things differently. They understand that wealth is built by creating value, not logging hours. Instead of asking, how much will I make per hour? They ask, how can I create something once that pays me forever? That shift in thinking is powerful. It moves the focus from time to leverage. They look for ways to separate income from effort. That could mean starting a business, building digital products, investing in real estate, or developing intellectual property. The idea is simple. Build once, earn repeatedly. They know that while time is limited, value is scalable. Poor thinkers spend their time chasing small, immediate wins, an extra shift, a temporary bonus, a one-time freelance job. Rich thinkers invest their time building assets, something that grows, compounds, or pays them back over time. They're patient with process, but aggressive with action. They might work just as hard in the beginning, but they're working to escape the time for money model, not stay stuck in it. They know that the goal is not to get paid for your time, but to eventually buy back your time. This isn't about avoiding work. It's about doing the kind of work that frees you. When you trade time for money, you're always one emergency away from financial ruin. But when you build systems and create scalable value, you shift from being an employee of time to being the owner of your life. That's the thinking that builds wealth. Not just money in the bank, but the freedom to choose how you spend your days. So if you're serious about building real wealth, it starts with changing the way you think. Because your mindset is either your greatest asset or your biggest liability. Stop chasing quick money. Stop trading time just to survive. Start creating value that lasts, building systems that scale, and thinking like someone who deserves more than just enough to get by. You don't need permission to shift your mindset. You need a decision. And that decision starts now. If this message hit you deep, let me know in the comments. What belief are you leaving behind today? And if you're ready to keep leveling up, hit that like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's ready to stop thinking small and start building a rich life. Let's grow together. This is just the beginning.